Hello everyone, I am Mary and this is the thing this movie I've. It's actually been a minute since I filmed anything. You didn't realize I skipped last week's video. It's probably just because I've not been reading very much this month at all because I'm still in like a reading slump that I don't want to call a reading slump. We'll see if that gets better. I am about to start a new job though, so hopefully that doesn't stop me from making videos like I'm afraid it will do. This video is going to be a 5-star prediction video. I really enjoy when people make these videos. It's just really fun to try to guess if you know your reading taste as well as you think you do. But I also really enjoy the videos that people will make after they've read all the books to see if they're right. So that's actually the main reason I want to do it, is for a future video of me reacting to this video to see if I was right. We'll see how that goes. I don't really try anymore to talk about my ratings of books because I'm really bad at rating stories, or at least I feel like I am. I feel like I always, a couple weeks later, be like, was that really 5 stars? Because I don't think it was. Or like, I feel like it needs to be worse than that, or, you know, whatever. I don't think my ratings are a good showing of my actual enjoyment, so I try to just talk about them in a way that will convey how I feel about them. Does it work? I don't know. If I don't trust my ratings, should you trust my ratings? That's what I'm trying to get at. But I will make an exception for this video and the video I make after I've finished all the books that I will be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about 10 books that I think have the probability of getting 5 stars from me. 6 of them I actually already own, so hopefully I can get to them soon. 4 of them I do not. 2 of those 4 is because they're not even out yet, but I want to get them eventually. They're not in any particular order, they're just how I wrote them on the list that I have sitting right here. So let's get started with the books that I think will be 5 stars. The first book I want to talk to you about is Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan. And if you recognize this book and me talking about it, I've had this in a couple of videos, and it was actually in April's TBR video, so I'm hoping to finish it, to read it this month. We'll see if that actually happens. I've wanted to read this since I heard people compare some of the main characters in this book to characters that are in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And you compare something to anything in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I want to pick it up. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm slightly obsessed with Avatar: The Last Airbender. When you compare it to it, I need to consume whatever media you're talking about. So this is a 5-star prediction, and I really think it will be once I actually get around to reading it. We'll see if it lives up to the hype that I have in my head for it. The second book that I have on this list is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. If you don't know, this is the sequel to One Dark Window, and I adored One Dark Window. And from what I've heard from other people who've enjoyed One Dark Window, when they got to this one, they enjoyed it just as much, if not more, than the first one. So that gets me excited about getting to this. Hopefully I can get to it soon because I really liked One Dark Window. And if this can match or even surpass how much I enjoyed the first one, it's going to be a good time. The next book on this list is Aragon by Christopher Paolini. Yes, I never got around to reading this. Have I watched the movie? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy the movie? Actually, yes, I did. And I realize that's an unpopular opinion to those who've read the books. But as someone who has not read the books, I enjoyed the movies. Maybe I'll look back on that like I look back on the Percy Jackson movies, because lo and behold, I actually used to like the Percy Jackson movies until I read the books, and now I can't stand the movies. Maybe that will happen when I get to read this book. But I've always thought I would enjoy the story. I just never got around to reading it when it was popular before. But then the author decided to release a new book in the series, and then I was like, oh, I should start collecting the books for this in hardcover. And the only one I'm missing besides Murtaugh is Eldest, the second one in the series. So hopefully I actually enjoy them because I have the majority of the series now. But it's a story with dragons. What's not to love? The fourth book on my list is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I have a slight obsession with fairy tale retellings, so I've always thought I would enjoy this story. I've heard from some people that the rest of the series isn't as good, but I haven't read it, so I don't know if that's true or not. I do think, if anything, at least the first one is going to give it 5 stars from me. I've had this on my shelves for pretty much since it was first published, and I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what that tells you. But the main reason I'm excited to read this is that the main girl character in this story has cerebral palsy, and I've never read a book where one of the main characters, or any character really, has cerebral palsy, and I just really am excited about reading something like that because my little brother has cerebral palsy, and I just wish I could read more about that in stories. So if you have any recommendations of books where one of the characters has cerebral palsy, I would like to know because I'm very interested. For the one story that I know of that has cerebral palsy representation in it, I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. And I'm excited for whenever I get around to actually reading it. The 5th book on this list of 5-star predictions, I've actually seen a lot of people give 5 stars. There's a lot of people that enjoy it. And the people who I've seen that don't really enjoy it, don't particularly like cozy stories. And I adore cozy. So my next 5-star prediction is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldrey. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about this story. It just sounds so adorable, and I think I would have a great time. I think cozy was just made for me, even though I haven't really read that many cozy things. I just really like it. I like the vibes. I've read a couple cozy type stories, and I've really enjoyed them. So I think this story is going to be just as enjoyable as those other cozy reads. Hopefully 5 stars enjoyable. We'll find out whenever I eventually read it. Book number 6 on this list is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is another very popular story, and I don't think I've heard anyone not like this book. There's probably people out there that's read this and not liked it. I just can't think of any at the moment. People I've seen on the internet say they didn't like this book, but I anticipate really enjoying it. We'll see. I'm a little scared about this one, not gonna lie, but I also think I would end up enjoying it once I read it. And if anything else, this paperback's floppiness is 5 stars for me. Like, this is like beautiful. Look how floppy that is. It's gorgeous. So if anything, the floppiness of this paperback is 5 stars. But let's hope the insides, the story itself, is actually 5 stars as well. The next 4 books are the ones that I have yet to buy. I do not own them yet. Some because I don't have the money yet, and some because they aren't out yet. They haven't been published. It's not past the release date. But I think all of them are still going to be 5 stars. So without further ado, the 7th book on this list is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I know the summary, or the vague summary. I know it's about a girl getting on an apartment, and this apartment sometimes transports her 7 years in the past. I really think I'm going to enjoy this one. For one, that I've heard a lot of good things about it, but also I've read from Ashley Poston before, both from her young adult series that she did Once Upon a Con, and I love this series. I think it's really good. I do think this one is the weakest, but I adore these two. So I enjoyed this of her. But I also read The Dead Romantics, which was her first adult romance that she did, and this was such a fun time and I loved it. I think I have the opportunity to really enjoy The 7 Years of Slip as well. We'll find out when I read it. When that will be, no one knows. Number 8 is also a book that I think is going to be 5 stars, specifically because I've liked the author's work before, and that is Otherworldly by F.T. Lukens. The only thing I know about this is that it's a snowy setting and it's a gay romance, and that's about it. Because I've liked everything else I read by this author, so I think I will like this just as much as their other works. I know I have read In Deeper Waters. It's a fun time. I enjoyed myself. And I also read So This Is Ever After, which I read in the 24-hour romance reading vlog I did. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. It was just a grand old time. And that's exactly what I think Otherworldly is going to be. So that is my 8th 5-star prediction. Number 9 might be a slight cop-out answer for a 5-star prediction video, but I've loved every volume from the beginning for this story. I mean, there's a possibility it could be a 4-star, but is it actually one of my videos if I don't mention Freerin Beyond Journey's End? So I think the 11th volume is also going to be 5 stars. What can I say? I adore this story. It's so fun. I'm so glad that I picked up the first volume. It's well worth it, in my opinion. I love it so very much. It's just such a comforting read, even when it covers some not so pleasant topics. It's just so comforting. And plus, with the way that volume 10 ended, I think this volume 11 is going to be a really good one. I just have high hopes for it, and Freerin has never let me down so far, so I don't see it happening now. I will say that I have given volumes 4 stars before. I don't think I've ever given a volume less than 4 stars, but I just have a feeling with the way volume 10 ended that I'm going to adore this volume and everything that goes down in it. So it's on this list for 5-star prediction. We'll have to see if I'm correct. Oh, Freerin Volume 11 is also one of the books that is not out yet. It comes out September 10th. So I won't know if I'm correct in this prediction until after September 10th. It's a long ways to wait. I mean, it's not really that long to wait, but it feels that long when you're anticipating something so much. And my 10th 5-star prediction, and the last book I'm going to put on this list, is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. This is another book that isn't out yet. It comes out September 3rd. And do I know much about this? No. I know I am certain that it's about the gods playing games with humans, and there's something about Hades in the description if I remember right. That's all I know. And the main thing, well, for one, I am a sucker for anything mythology related, so this has gods and goddesses in it, so I'm already down. Like, I didn't even need to hear anything else. And it's the gods and goddess thing is probably the only reason that it's been compared to Percy Jackson, but I don't mind. I don't care that is the only reason that people are comparing it to Percy Jackson. I still want to read it. Plus, the Percy Jackson comparison does help the fact that I want to read it, but I know that the only reason that they're comparing the two is because it has Greek gods in it. Like, I get that. I understand. I will be surprised if there's any other similarities between the two from the little gist that I have of the story. Maybe they're gonna have someone that has sassy banter. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. It's not even out yet for me to read. I don't get arcs. But I still think I'm going to adore the story. Does the fancy sprayed edges that it's going to have for the first print run sway me towards a 5-star prediction? Possibly. Who's to say? So that is my 10 5-star predictions. Hopefully it won't take me too long. to read these stories, and then I can come back on here. Then I can make a video of me seeing if I was correct or how wrong I was. We'll find out either way, one way or the other. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the books that I expect to be 5 stars when I get around to reading them. I hope you have a good week. I also hope to see you next week, but I make no promises. Bye.